Hello and happy Saturday. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, so happy for the Lord allowing us to see a brand new day that we've never seen before. This is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. This is a new day, the day that the Lord has allowed us to see. And now that we're here, let's make the most of it. So, I wanted to talk to us about listening, having on our listening skills. First, I want to say thank you so much for joining me today on Season of Prayer. My name is Sharon. I am here on this channel to bring encouragement, enlightening, spiritual understanding, wisdom, prayer, teaching, whatever it is that the Lord would have me to bring. So we're talking about listening, okay? I was sitting here meditating and I was listening to the voice of the Lord this morning. And, excuse me, the Lord said that you can't listen to everybody. Like, you cannot just go over here and say, what do you think about this? And you listen to what they say. And you go over here and you're getting advice from everybody about your situation. He said you cannot listen to everybody. You have to tune in to his voice. You have to tune in to hear what he's saying. And how can you hear what he says if you don't pick up the word? If you don't pick up the Bible to find out what the Bible is saying about your situation, and you may say, well, Sharon, everything that I'm going through is not in the Bible. And it's something that pertains to it. It may not be the specific today's situation, but I'm telling you, there's nothing that we have encountered, because the Bible said there's nothing new under the sun. So that means that whatever you were going through right now, is someone else went through it too. Okay, but the Lord is saying this morning that we cannot adhere our ears to everybody's voice. We can't. We have to listen to the voice of the Lord. And the voice of the Lord is speaking when he says that my sheep know my voice. And how are they knowing his voice? How can a sheep recognize the voice of a shepherd? It's by spending time with the shepherd spending time with the sheep. Come on here, Billy Bob. Come on here, Sue. Get on over here. Get back over here. Can you waving it off too far over to? No, I have you over here in this pasture. Come over here. Come here. I got you. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna drink this water. We're gonna go over here. You're gonna eat and graze off of this land. And you're talking to the sheep, and the sheep is listening to the voice, and the shepherd is actually looking and watching and knowing. Oh, okay, Sue, I see you got a cut on your foot. Come here, let me take care of that. How did he know that was Sue? Why he didn't think that was Betty? Because he spent time with them. And even though to me all sheep look the same, they don't. There are certain characteristics about a sheep that you can identify and know what sheep is what sheep. If you don't believe me, take a look in some of these videos on YouTube and look at these shepherds that are taking care of these sheep. You will notice, because I've watched a video or two about a shepherd. It was a female shepherd, and she was herding her sheep, and she was calling them by their name. She was saying, come on, Billy, come on. She was naming, they all have a name. And I'm thinking, like, they all look the same. How do you know? How do you identify? How do you know? Because she spent times with them every day. She spent time with them every day to get to know that sheep, so that sheep can listen. So when a stranger will come in and say, hey, Sue, your boss told me to come get you and take you with me. But if you have not been listening to the voice of the shepherd, the one that cares for you daily, When a stranger comes and calls your name, you listen to that name, to that voice. But if that voice doesn't sound like, nah, that ain't my shepherd. That's not the one. But I'm telling you, if you way in the back of the line as a sheep, and you're not paying attention to what the shepherd is saying and leading and guiding and saying, we're going to go over here to this pasture, we're going to go over here to this river, and we're going to go over this stream, because of what I heard about sheep, they don't like the water that rushes. So it has to be like a stream that, like the Bible said in Psalms 23, it says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. Oh my God. Listen. The sheep, they don't like the rushing water. So it says he leads me beside the still water, because why? He knows me. He knows that I'm a sheep that do not like watching water flow, because I feel like I might get caught up in it, or whatever the reason why the sheep may feel that way. The Lord said, the Bible said he leads me beside the still waters. He knows each and every sheep. So the thing about it is, y'all, listening. Put on your listening ears. Get acquainted with your shepherd. Get acquainted with the voice. Get acquainted with the sound of the voice. Get acquainted when the shepherd is upset. Get acquainted when the shepherd is happy. Get acquainted when the shepherd is frustrated. Get acquainted with your shepherd so that you can have a listening ear. So when something is going wrong, you can be like, that's not my shepherd. That's not who watching over me. The Lord said we are not listening to the right people. We're going over here to step down number 2 and jump up number 3 church, and so that we can get a word from the Lord, because we're so anxious to get it that we go over here and go over there. The Lord, be still and listen to me. I'm your shepherd. I'm the one who watches over you. I'm the one who protects you. I'm the one who leads and guides you. I am the one who directs you. So if you're not listening to the right voice, if you're not paying attention to the voice of your shepherd that's leading you, then I'm going to ask you to retract, stop, right in your track. You might have to do a face turn around or something. Do something different, because he said that we're not listening to the right people. And stop getting all of the advices. And God told me yesterday, I was asking him about confirmation, and I was saying, why is that we are not getting confirmation from the people that we are acquainted with? Like, God, if you spoke to me, use so and sister so and so, use brother so and so, use prophetess this, use prophetess that, to say something to me about what you have already told me. Does that make any sense, guys? Oh my goodness. God got me yesterday. He said, you don't need confirmation if I'm talking to you. What? You don't need confirmation when you are talking to the one that you need to talk to. Now, if you're listening to so many different voices, if you're listening to this person saying, child, if I was you, I'd do this. Girl, if I was you, I wouldn't go over there. Boy, man, you need to make a better decision. If I was you, I would do this. And you're going all over the place trying to see who, and you haven't heard God because you're too busy listening to somebody else. Now, when God spoke directly to me, I felt that somebody needs to confirm this. Like God said, Noah didn't have a confirmation when I spoke to him. There was no prophet in the land to come and say, for thus said the Lord, I will tell it thee, thou must build an ark. No, God came directly to Noah. He went directly to Noah and said, hey, I want you to build an ark because it's going to rain. God gave him all of the deets, all of the instructions, everything that he needed to know. He didn't have to go and say, well, I don't know if that was God telling me because maybe, I wrote all the directions down. Maybe I need to go talk to priest so-and-so because I need to make sure that this is the Lord. What? So God got me yesterday. I'm going to confess because I'm telling you, we don't always make 100 every day. So I was saying to God, and God said, you don't need confirmation. And he started telling me, he said, Abraham didn't have a prophetess or somebody to come and tell him that the Lord said for you to get up out of your father's house and go to a land where I would show you. God didn't tell Jonah. He didn't even tell Jonah. He said, I didn't tell Jonah. I didn't have nobody to go to Jonah. I told Jonah to get up and go over and preach my gospel into Nineveh. I didn't tell somebody to, speak thou thus to Jonah, let him know that I'm saying this. No. Now, I'm not saying that God does not use prophets, and I'm not saying that God does not use prophetess. He doesn't. I'm not saying that at all. But when God gives you a word, it is not for us to go and ask nobody else can you please confirm this? No. If God want to give you a confirmation to let him know that he spoke to you, he'll do it. But you don't go off seeking somebody else to say, girl, I think the Lord was talking to me this morning, and I think he said this. And then now you're leaning and depending on human to answer. They got to go to God just like you need to go to God. You can't ask somebody to go to God and you haven't went to God on behalf. So we need to stop listening to these people. We need to listen to the voice of God. We need to hear what God is saying. We need to know that God is saying. If we're not sure that we heard from God, hey, I'm going to tell you something. This is one way. I said, God, how can I know that it's confirmed in by what you said? He said this. Every word that goeth forth out of my mouth, it shall not return void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. When he speaks his word, whether he speaks it audibly, whether he speaks it internally, however you hear it, you can always back it up with the word. Guaranteed. Okay? Sometimes people say something to you and it sounds like a good word, but if it's not in the word, you might want to put that aside and say, God, I'm coming to you. So God corrected me yesterday because I wasn't listening to nobody else, but I wasn't fully listening to him. I'm going to be honest. I wasn't fully listening to him because sometimes as humans, we want another human to confirm what the Spirit of God has said. Y'all better hear this. I'm telling you, we need to stop. When he got me correct, I'm like, enough said. You ain't got to say nothing else, Lord, because I'm not gonna ask, I'm not gonna seek, I'm not wondering. But God is God all by himself. So why would he need to confirm? Why would he need to? I mean, he has done it before, but this is the hour, yo guys. Oh my goodness. This is the hour. We're living in a time and day that we have to know in our knower that God has spoken. We have to know in our knower that God has spoken directly to us. And have we taken heed to what he's saying? Have we adhered to his voice? We have to hear him and obey. Because he said in his word that in the last days, there were going to be people going to be rising up and they're going to say, hey, Jesus Christ over here. Oh no, he go over here. Oh no, he went across the freeway. Go over here. Christ is over there. And if you don't know the voice of God, if you're not listening to him, then you're going to be scattered. You're going to be going everywhere because you're trying to listen. Oh, Jesus over there, Christ is over there. And then you're going to have people that are rising up, that are false prophets, that are going to be prophesying. They're going to have signs and wonders. It's going to look like it. It's going to sound like it, but it's imitation. It's not the real deal, y'all. But if we don't get get in the word, if we don't start adhering and listening to the voice of God now, that when these things come up on us, when we start hearing people saying, oh, this prophet over here, they're prophesying and you got signs and wonders. Even in the Bible said they're going to have signs and wonders, but it's not of God. It is false. So we need to know of a surety that God is speaking to us. We need to know of a surety that it is God. And I'm telling you, even though them false prophets don't come, they're gonna have signs and wonders. It's gonna be some off. It's gonna be some off. And it's not gonna be attached to the word. It's not gonna be attached to the word, y'all. I'm just trying to encourage us today, God. I got excited. Lord knows I got excited because it is time for us to hear the voice of the Lord only, listen to his voice, and not be trying to go over here to jump down number 3 and number 2 and go to prophet snot nose and prophetess red shoe and all of this and trying to get a word. Get your word from heaven. Get your word from the word. Okay, God said, okay, I'm doing this. I'm doing a thing in your life. I'm moving in your life, and you like, well, do I need to go talk to my pastor because I feel like they should see? I feel like they should know. If they not in alignment with where God wants them to be, if God is speaking to them to confirm or not to confirm, but to acknowledge so that they will be aware of what's going on with their sheep, with their members, as so to speak, because I'm telling y'all, it's a lot of hirelings out there. It's a lot of hirelings. Everybody is not shepherds. So the shepherd want to take a day off. If you want to take a day off and he hired somebody, they're not going to care for your sheep. They're not going to care for your people like you care for them. Okay? They're not going to love on your people. They're not going to protect your sheep like you would. That's why hirelings, they going to run. They going to get scattered. When the wolf comes, like, you can have those sheep. I'm out of here so you don't devour me. That's a hireling. But a real shepherd, a true shepherd, and when he see that sheep coming, what he gonna do is he gonna get something and he gonna try to bash them out or scatter them away. Don't let you. He gonna protect his sheep. He gonna protect them. Okay. He gonna protect them. Let me get some water. He gonna protect his sheep. He gonna make sure, and she gonna, whoever it is, just like a mother, she's gonna protect her children at all costs. She's not going to let anybody come in and out and not know who it is. She's going to protect them. She's going to hover over them like a hen. She's going to protect them. So who more than our God, who loves us, who gave himself for us, his son for us, that he would not care for us, that he would not love us, that he would not protect us, direct us, and guide us, and shield us, and keep us. Everything that we need is in God. So we have to listen to the right voice. I'm not going to even say voices, because let me say this. If it's the Spirit of God on a leader, if it's the Spirit of God, it's still God speaking through that person. But if it's not the Spirit of God through that person, you might want to steer away from it, because it's going to bring enlightenment. It's going to bring encouragement. It's going to bring peace. It's going, you got to know, okay, they read about Joshua after Moses had died. This is what I read this morning. And the Lord came to him, after the Lord Moses died, the Lord came to Joshua. He spoke directly to Joshua. He told him that he should observe to do everything that is written in the book. And so that's what we have to do. We have to look and see, observe. We have to make sure that we're seeing what we're seeing. We have to know that we're knowing. And if we read in the word, pray and ask God to give you understanding. If you're reading the word, ask God to give you wisdom. Ask God, he said, if any man lack wisdom, let him ask of God, who give it to all men and liberally and upbraid it not. He's going to give it to you if you ask him for it. He's going to give you wisdom. He's going to give you knowledge. He's going to give you understanding. But you have to ask for it. You have to seek him for it. If you seek the person who owns it, if you seek the person who has it, you're at the right place. But if you go over here to somebody that does not have what you're seeking for and what you're needing for, you're going to come back out empty-handed. So listen to the right voice. Listen to the right people. Listen to the right person. Listen to God. Okay? No, base that word that you're hearing from somebody else. Come back and put it toward the word and say, let me see. God, they said this, but let me see. What's in your word? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Okay. You told Joshua, don't turn from it from the left nor the right. But then they saying, oh, you can go to the right. You don't have to go left. Then you know that's not the right word, okay? If he said that my sheep hear my voice and a stranger they will not follow, and then you hear somebody saying, come follow me, the shepherd is told me to come and watch over you. You know that's not true. So listen attentively, listen intentionally. Listen to what the voice of the Lord is saying. And don't be like me. That was me yesterday. But now I'm not trying to ask God and inquire about, hey, why somebody not saying or giving a confirmation. I know within my knower that the Lord speaks to me. I feel him in my spirit. I feel him in my soul. I know when he speaks to me, okay? Now, when somebody else try to come, another stranger try to come and say something that's not according to the will and to the word of God, then I know, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Of course not. Of course not. That was not God. So listen to the right voice. Make sure you're listening to God and make sure you're doing what the voice of the Lord said. So if you can always keep your ear to his mouth, to listen closely, because you need to hear him closely. Because like I told my son yesterday, God is not a blabbermouth. He's not gonna become. That's the devil. He gonna be like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do it. Oh, you need to stop doing it. Oh, go over here, go over here, and don't do this, and don't listen to him. Don't, that's the devil. That's the devil. That's how he gonna talk. I'm trying to help you a little bit. When you try to listen to the voice of God, God speaks in like he did Elijah in a still small voice, and like he did to the people in the Bible. He didn't just go off and say, I need you to do this and I need you to do it. And then he said, okay, all right, Moses is dead. Okay. Now I need you to lead the people, right? Okay. So what I need you to do is to observe, to do everything that is written in the law. Everything Moses commanded you to do, I need you to do it. Every word, this book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth, but it shall, but you should meditate in it day and night, that you may observe to do all that is written therein. Then you shall make your way prosperous, and then you shall have what? Good success. So he didn't go into say, and you got to go do this, and you got to do this, and you do this, and you got to do this, and do that, and then over here, but don't listen to them. Then God is not going. He's not a fast talker. He is not an intimidator. He's not trying to trick you. He's not trying to coerce you to do stuff. And he gave us all the free will. And he said that life and death. But he said choose life. He gives us a choice, but he prefers that you take life rather than taking death. So he gives us a choice, but he does not make us do anything. He's not trying to coerce us. He loves us just enough that he give us free will. He created us in his image and after his likeness. So, but he still does not force us to do anything. Okay. So I hope this word has blessed you. I have not given you scriptures, but I've given you the word. So if you are a Bible thumper, I know you should read in Joshua 1. You can read the whole chapter. You start at the verse 1 and go all the way to verse 8 and 9. You'll know what I'm talking about. My sheep hear my voice, and a stranger they will not follow. It's in the New Testament. And whatever scripture that I've given, I pray that you would just, Google it. If you don't have it, Google it. I'm not going to go and edit this video, but I want you to know that we are in a place where we have to actually hear and listen to the voice of God. Nobody else. Nobody else, okay? So God bless you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for liking, comment, and subscribing to this channel. I thank you so much. You can share this video out. If you feel that it may bless someone or encourage someone, feel free to share it out, okay? I just want to tell you to have a happy, happy Saturday. Know that God is with you, and he wants you to listen to him. Be blessed.